Let's now talk about some other common concepts in English syntax. And these include head, complement, and modifier. Words make phrases, phrases make clauses, and clauses make sentences, and sentences overall make speeches. A natural sequence to understand could be upward, starting from word to phrase, and phrase to clause, and then clause to sentence. Head, in all this sequence, head is a word which defines the category of a phrase. It's part of a phrase and holds the key or central position in the phrase, and it defines the overall category. For example, if we identify a phrase as a noun phrase or prepositional phrase, so it's the head word which defines them as prepositional phrase or the noun phrase. A phrase could be a single word or a combination of more than one words. The words other than the head words in a phrase can be seen as modifiers. Modifiers are those words which are used attributively in a phrase. That means that they add to the information, or they enhance the meaning, or they make the meaning more specific related to the head word. And usually a modifier can be seen as an adjective or a noun. If you just look at the example in front of you, in the phrase good family house, the word good and family actually makes the meaning of the word house in this phrase more specific. So they could be seen as modifiers. There could be pre-modifiers and post-modifiers based on their position in a sentence in relation to the head word. Those words or modifiers which occur before the head word, they are known as pre-modifiers, and those which occur after the head word, they are known as post-modifiers. If you just look at the example here, a boy with black hat. Boy is the head word in this noun phrase, and we could see the article a can be seen as a pre-modifier, and with black hat can be seen as a post-modifier. Similarly, the very cheap is an adjective phrase. The word cheap is a head word, and the very is a modifier. You could also see the example in front of you, that nice tall man from Canada whom you met. In this noun phrase, the word man is the head word, whereas the word nice and tall are pre-modifiers, and the words like, or phrases like from Canada whom you met, could be seen as post-modifiers. There could be different ways through which we could represent head words, and some of the typical ways in form of tree diagrams are in front of you. In a phrase, generally these modifiers are optional, where the head words are obligatory. There cannot be a phrase without a head word. However, there could be phrases without a modifier. The only phrase in which both of these are essential or obligatory is a prepositional phrase. Because in a prepositional phrase, there has to be something along with the preposition in order to make it a prepositional phrase. For example, if we just look at this example, in the house, the word in and the house, the noun phrase, should be there in order to make it a complete prepositional phrase. Just a preposition may not be enough to convey these the meanings or the sense of a prepositional phrase. Modifiers are not only parts of the phrases, but they also form clauses as well, whenever the additional meanings are there to be conveyed. For example, if you just look at the sentence in front of you, he slept solidly for 10 hours. In this sentence, you could see that the word solidly and for 10 hours are adverb phrases which function as adverbials. So they basically add to the meaning. We also have complements. There are some other words in a sentence beside the modifiers which also convey certain meanings, and they are very important to complete the sense of a sentence. They are not there just as an additional thing which could be removed easily as a modifier, similar to modifier, but they are very essential to convey the basic sense of a sentence. For example, he is a tall boy. A tall boy is a noun phrase functioning as a complement here. And a tall boy is very important to convey the meaning of what has been mentioned before it. The meaning of the sentence cannot be complete without this complement. The difference between modifiers and complements is that modifiers are optional and complements are obligatory. And the difference can be shown as a tree diagram as well. If you just look at the tree diagram of the sentence, he ate some food in the room. You could see in front of you the tree diagram which shows he as a noun phrase, then ate as a verb, and some food as a noun phrase, and they, when combined, they make a verb phrase. And then we have in the room the prepositional phrase, and combined they make another verb phrase. And a noun phrase and a verb phrase, they make a sentence. As represented in the tree structures, complements are sisters of the lexical head verb, whereas modifiers are sisters of a phrasal head verb. So, we could see that complements are essential and they are there to complete the sense of the sentence, whereas modifiers could possibly be removed as they are optional. Most common complements include object, a direct object or indirect object. Then we have subjective complement and objective complement.